Hey everyone, it's Ashley with Go and Crochetzy, and today I am doing something a little bit different. I am working on a mock setup for a market I have in about a week and a half. So it is a June 15th market and it is going to be outside. It's a 4-hour event and I am doing it with a friend. So I am deciding on what I should bring, how I should set it up right now, and while I was in the process of doing that, I figured I could give you guys some tips and tricks on how you can prep your stuff to go into a market so that when you get to the market, it's super easy, quick to set up. And then when you leave the market, it is also super quick and easy to tear down so that you know where all of your specific items are. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to move my plushies off to the side so that I can set my tables up. So this is a big bag of plushies. Let's see how many bags I have in total. There's one. This is full for 2, 3, and 4. And these ones are really heavy. And the funny thing is, the majority of this one is the extras that I have duplicates of, and then like some blankets and stuff in here. But I have those 4 very full plushie bags. I have my display baskets and more extras in here. And then I have this huge bin here. And I'm going to show you the importance of this specific bin for my personal setup in just a minute. But for now, let's go ahead and put some tables up, and then I will be right back to talk to you about how I'm setting up my specific display for this market. I am not going to be using my tall white shelf because it's outside. I'm not sure if it's going to be in the grass or on the pavement. I'm not sure if it's going to be a windy day or, you know, just a nice sunny day. So I'm not going to bring it because I feel like it's more of a liability than anything. It could be knocked over easily in the breeze unless I tied it down somehow. And with my friend having her items there as well, I'm just not even going to bother to bring that. But yeah, let me put you guys on a time lapse and you guys can watch me set up, and then I will come back on to show you how I put it together. Okay, so what I started to do, since I don't have that large standing display, it is a little bit different for me because I've always had that. That's kind of like my trademark. You know, it's my booth because you see that big, large white shutter. But for the purposes of this event, I don't want to bring it just because, you know, like I said, I feel like it could be a liability on my part, and I just don't want to have anything to do with, you know, it falling on someone and someone getting hurt. So I have 2 large 6-foot tables. They fold in half, they pop open, they click open, very easy. Set up, very lightweight, so it's easy just to throw in my car and get that done. I have this rack here. I got this, as you can see, the bottom is brown. I just spray painted it this black color, and I got this at a garage sale last summer. And it's a nice tall tiered stand where I can just display some of my pieces in the front of my stand to maybe welcome people in. Use these baskets that I had, and these were just something that was sitting around my house not getting used. I had bought them 15 plus years ago, and so I just decided to add those into my display as little pieces. You can stick some stuff in, just give it a little bit more dimension. I found this at Marshall's, and it's a fruit stand, but I thought the size of it was really nice, and I liked the colors of it. I felt like the colors would go really nice against my black tablecloths and my black stand and the darker baskets. So I just placed that there. I also found this cute little spinny rack. I believe this is from Michael's, and I just hang some keychains on it. I don't have a ton of like sales when it comes to keychains, but I still bring them just because they're a fun quick make. And then I just made this. All it is like a base from something else. We had the dowel here, and then we just took like a square scrap piece of wood and screwed it into the top, and I display some hanging things on that. And then these crates I just recently purchased from Michael's. Like within the past month I got those, and I did get them on sale, so that was a great find. And so I only got 3 of them for now. I might increase my amount I get in the future, but for now that's enough for me to do what I need to do for the way I like the setup. Then I also purchased this stand. You can't see it in frame right now, but I will show you once I have the whole booth set up. But I found this stand, and I got like the extra large one. This is from Amazon. I got the like biggest, longest one possible because I felt like the longer the better. I can just use this as a table. If say I had a 4x4 space, I would be able to just like set a lot of things on this, and that would you know, hold so many items that I wouldn't even have to worry about bringing a table. I have in the past, in the smaller booths I've gotten, I've had to take a table completely away, and so I've just had my black table on one side, this shelf, and that white screen I usually use on the other side. That was like all I had, but it still held quite a bit of items. But this folds down really nice, so you can fold it flat, put it in your car. It did come with like a hanging rack, but I never use that just because it's more of a pain in my behind than anything to use. So I just use this, and I really like it for my smaller items. And so speaking of smaller items, I have my bin here that is full of my smaller items. I'm just gonna put it up on the table so you guys can see me unload it. So I wanted to show you guys how easy you can create your setup to be when you go into markets, so that it breaks down your time. When I do a market, I am 100% by myself, which means I have to pack my car. When I get to the event, I have to unload my car. I have to do my full setup and tear down all by myself. And so what is going to make it super easy for me is what I look for. What's going to make it quicker and just more efficient is what I'm looking for. And so this is kind of a test for me too, to see how efficient I have become when it comes to packing my bags and setting up. Right here, this is where all of my items for this rack are right now. Actually, hold on. Let me rephrase that. Where 90% of my items go on here. I do have a few over there that are new items I have never even put in a market before, and I haven't even priced them yet. I'll get to those in a minute, but I want to see how the setup goes for this. So let's check the time first. So it's 6:37 on my clock right now. So all I have to do is I open this. I usually have my standing rack where I hang all my bags, but for right now, those are just going to go off to the side. And I'm going to start filling up this bin here. So I consolidate as I go when it comes to like my smaller items. But I have my little chickies here, my little chickens, squishy chicks. And I keep the tags right inside my bin so that when I get to the event, all I have to do is clip it here. So I like to put my smaller items and lesser priced items usually up on the top. But here we go. I have like my little ice cream octos. I think that will do well in summer months when everyone is craving some ice cream and just, you know, vibing with the summer. And then I have my leggy frogs. And look at that. They're all in place. They don't have to be like messed around with, put in special places. They're already set to go. And all I have to do is put the clip up and then place that. And the same with, let's see, some of them I did have to consolidate. But the same with my otters. I have all my otters in one little basket, and I can stick that right here. And then I have my little kitties, my little loaf cats, go in one bin. I did have to consolidate my loaf cats because I was running out of room of my bin, but I know where all of them are because I put them in with my little round octos on purpose. So here are my loaf cats. And here are my octos. And look, I just have to put my clip on. And there, oh, this is, yep, that's the right clip. And then all I have to do is clip it here. And I have my top row already set up. Obviously, I'll play around with placement of them once I'm completely set up. So then I go on to my next one, and I have, oh, sorry, I forgot to show you guys my little cats and octos too. So I have these like little squishy octos, all from Jade Octos. And then I have my little kitty, my loaf kitties. So those bins. And then these are new. I have not brought them to an event yet, and I'm curious to see how they do. But my octos, the new octo pattern, I have tried. And I believe this was an extra bin, which will be perfect for my newer items. But I have my crabs. And I think I'm gonna add little mouths to these guys. I just haven't done it yet. So my little blue and red crabs. And this is for my possums, and I love these possums. So I have this little guy here, and then I have a little possum playing possum. So he can go upside down. Aren't those cute? So I can't take this idea for myself because I saw Amanda King from Eclectic Scribbles on here on YouTube did this with some of her possums, and I love the idea. So I stole that idea from her. I won't take credit where credit is not due. But then I put my possums up here, and I just display them as I choose. And I'm not gonna fancy it up right now. But I'm gonna put them in the middle. And then I have my little sitting bees, and I have different expressions on all my bees because I don't know. I like different moods. My favorite are angry things. That's just, I think it's funny. But not everyone will. So I have different happy and angry bees, and those will go there. And voila, I have my first setup. And I was talking a lot through that, but let's see, I started at 6:37. It's now 11:37. So 5 minutes for me to put that all together while I was talking and showing you guys. I feel like that setup is super quick, fast, easy. Obviously, I have to make it a little bit neater looking, but that's pretty good. And I also have some new items that I need to add in. So I don't have a tag for these yet or anything, but these are my little stingrays that I have created for one of my newer items. And so I'll just have to add a tag to that, and I can, I'm actually, this is going to be a lower price item, so I'll probably add it to the top because I like my lowest price items on the top, and then as the items progress in price, they move down below a little bit. So I think I will put them, the octos, yeah, I'll put them there for now. So right there I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different variations of items. That's a lot of selection, and I personally like the nice neat selection of where you can see what's going on. So I'm now going to just place this off to the side, and usually I have this set completely straight to make a U, but with this event, since I don't have to use my white shelf, I'm gonna kind of angle it a little bit, I think, just to so people can see as they're walking by. I always like to choose whatever angle majority of people are coming from is the angle that I'm gonna put my eye stopping pieces. So I'll, depending on where we're set up, I might have my L here, my L with my tables here, or I may have it that way and my shelf this side, but for now, I just threw it there. Anyway, that is done. And now I'm not going to put this stuff out. This is mostly my mom's items. I'm just going to leave them in here because they're not crochet related, and I feel like this is about crochet. So I'm going to put these off to the side and continue on. Now I need to display my keychains. So I keep my keychains in the same place I keep my small items, and I try to keep them as organized as possible so that when it's time for me to set up, all I have to do is take them out of, like, I have them in a little bin right now. All I have to do is take them out of this little bin and hang them up. And all I have for keychains is, let's see, I can pull a couple here to show you. I have little sunflowers, I have little petal flowers, and I have little bees. And so that's pretty much all I have right now as far as keychains go. And I also like to color coordinate these just so, you know, if someone wants a specific color, it's easier for them just to spin it around and grab that color. And so that they can see the assortment of colors as well. And I usually will skip one because they are a little bit wider and I don't have like crazy space. I'll skip them in between each little prong. So I have this one empty, and then I have all the different colors and variations, and then I do have extra of like the bees and the sunflowers, but I keep those out. I will put this one on, I guess. That one has the petals, and so I have that ready to go. All I have to do is add the tag to that. Now this, you might be wondering, what do you put on this, Ashley? I'm going to show you right now. You remember when the little Yip Yips were going viral? Yeah, well, I do too, and I had so many people ask me to make Yip Yips. So I made the rainbow of Yip Yips, and I probably made 20 plus Yip Yips, and now I have all of them, and so I figured I might as well display them, and when they're gone, they're gone. I'm not making any more because these eyeballs, tell you, these eyeballs were a pain in the behind to make, and I just like batch made them an entire day of just making eyeballs. I am totally done making these. But what I like to do with this stand for now, what I'm using it for, is my Yip Yips. And so I don't have any red, so I'm gonna go red, orange, yellow, green, and blue on one side. I like to make it look like the rainbow because I just think that is eye-catching and pleasing. Arranged in the rainbow. And I don't have the red, so I'm just using hot pink for that one. So it's close enough. Indigo. And violet. And then I have extra colors that I will put on as well, just to fill in my space. And there we have it, my rack full of Yip Yips. And that just goes on the top of here. I have this little chicken hanger. So probably once these guys clean out some, I will start putting the car hangers up there instead. But for now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So I have 14 Yip Yips to unload before I start making something else for that stand. But the extras, what I do for the extras is when something were to sell, let's say, I sold one of the Yip Yips, I could just take another one and hang it up there, keep it looking nice and full. Same with my little bees. And I don't think I have any extra of the flowers or anything like that. So I keep this close by me, hands reach, so that once someone gets it, they walk away, I can place the next item out and it keeps my booth smoothly running. I also have the extras for my leggy frogs. So I have a bin of just a bunch of leggy frogs and extra possums, and here's some more extra keychains. And so all of my extras just stay close to me, and like I'll sit them right next to me, maybe underneath the table if I'm sitting next to a table, or in a basket or something close by. This is what I usually will use, is like a basket like this, so that when I need to grab the next item, I don't have to go searching for it during the event, because that's a pain in the butt, especially if you have a lot of people in your booth. You don't want to be like saying, excuse me, I need to get under my table to find something else. Now, a new thing I have started are these little mystery boxes. So I found these little mystery boxes that come in a pack of 3. So it looks like Chinese takeout to me, right? But it's just a little box. I grabbed the hot pink because I didn't have any other colors to grab, but I thought the hot pink was cute because it's very eye-catching. And then I bought these little tags as well at the Dollar Tree. So the boxes were 3 for $1.25, and then a big like packet of these guys were also $1.25, and I just glued them on. And I have some $2 2-item mystery prizes for $20. I have 1-item mystery prize for $5, and I also have, if I can find one, a 1-item mystery prize for $10. So those are all my small items that I put into my mystery prize boxes. And with these, I will sometimes, if it's a 1 item for $10, I'll even grab a $12 item and stick it in there. It's just a little extra bonus if you get that item. Same with my $5 ones. I'll grab like a $6 item and stick it in a $5 box. I just think it just adds a little bit to the prize. It makes it more special. And then of course the $20 2 items, I'll do a 2, like either 2 $10 items, or a 12 and a 10, or 2 12s, whatever I feel like doing. But my plan for these is to put them in here. So I will have 3 options, a $5, a $10, and a $20 option that they can choose from. I feel like it catches your eye enough that people will be like, oh, what is that? And I might even put this wherever my checkout is. So close by my checkout, or close by, I'm thinking even close by. So I'm gonna move this over to this side. So So it's a little bit more approachable, a little bit more easy to grab, and it's close to the little items, so that people will understand that it's part of the mystery pack, like what little items you're gonna get. And I do have 3 extras just in case I do sell one of those. I can add another one to it later. Moving on to some bigger plushie items. I have all of my bags color coordinated. So like I showed you earlier, my silver one, I know that that one is specifically for my extra, my doubles, my duplicates of items I've made. Bigger items that I've made that are going to take a little bit longer to sell, but I've made doubles of them just so I would have extra on hand. And this bin here, the green one, is usually what I put on my white rack. So this is my white rack bin. But for this event, I'm not using a white rack. I'm just going to take my larger items and place them probably on this front rack for people to see. I like to have like standing and leaning items up close so you can see what's going on with them right as you walk in. Obviously, my mermaid is not going to fit on that rack. I love her. Probably we'll just place her leaning. And like I said, I don't know if it's going to be a rainy day, a breezy day. So this whole setup can change up really fast in a hurry. Let's see. So I'm gonna go ahead and just place these items, and then I'm gonna come back when I go into my next bag. So now I still have some extra items in this bag, plus my purses and bags that I made, but I'm gonna put that off to the side for now because I can always have extra items underneath my table ready to go for if something does sell. But I'm not going to be able to put everything out in this specific event just because I'm sharing the space and I'm not bringing as many display pieces. This bag, I have my tablecloths that I did not put on my tables today. I have a bunch of other items that have duplicates in that silver bag, like this duck, this little mallard duck that I can place up front. I have these sweet owls that I will place and then just an assortment of other items. So I'm gonna go ahead, come off camera and place all these items, and then I will be back to show you guys. Okay, so I placed many of my items out and about, and now I have lots of free space for my friends' items as well. And I have one more thing. I forgot to tell you guys what was in the orange box, or in the orange bag, but what is in the orange bag is a bunch of $10 items. So all I have to do is just throw in these random items that I just want to offload, and so I put a price of them as $10, and so it's just an assorted bin that people can search through and get themselves a $10 item, and so that will just go over in front of my bin or my rack as $10 items. And then I have extra stuff in here that I don't have enough space for. But what I'm going to do with these items is I'm just going to have them underneath my table so that if I do sell some items, I can just place them out, a new item out as people come filter through. And these are like my less favorite items, I guess you could say, but they are nonetheless items I have available. So now I will bring you around to show you kind of an idea of what it's going to look like. So this is what I came up with. So as you enter the booth, you have this rack here. You walk into this space. And of course, I'm going to have my friends' items all through here. But you have the little backpack buddies or keychains, easily reachable. These items are all within the $10 to $20 scale. Then you have a little display over here. Coming into this display, the Yip Yips on top, bringing in all that pop of color. And then of course the mystery boxes, because I think this is probably where we're going to be sitting, behind this area right here. So they'll be close to like the checkout stand. And then you have the big display of miniature items. So I keep my $5 to $6 items at the top. Then this is like the 8 to 10, and then 10 to 12. And then this is a bin of random $10 items that I'm just kind of phasing out at this point. And so they're in that bin just to kind of get rid of, and people can rifle through. So I think that will be pretty good, pretty welcoming to come into. But I'd love to hear your guys' opinions. I do have, a couple weeks I can kind of change it around a little bit. Now, we did our setup. We went through our entire market, and now it's time to tear down. So how do you tear down in a way that is going to keep you organized for your next event? I have a market on June 15th that I am doing, and then that next weekend I am helping out at a fundraiser where she has asked me to specifically place my items at this fundraiser for sale, and then I just give a donation at the end of the day of whatever I choose. And so I need to be very organized for that specific reason of I'm going to be taking this stuff home, packing it back in my basement, waiting 1 week, and then repacking and bringing it to another event. So I need to be able to be very organized. And during market season, that's going to be something you're going to be doing multiple events back to back, most likely, if you're planning on doing a lot of markets. I know for me, starting on June 15th, I have a market averaging every month. Some of them are 2 in 1 month, some of them are 1 in the month, but it averages out for the rest of the year for 1 market per month. And so I need to be as maximally organized as possible so that I can make sure I don't lose anything. I know exactly what I have for inventory. And when I get to the market, I can set up quickly, efficiently, and not have to worry about the time limits. Because I know when I first started doing markets, it would take me a good 2 hours to set up my space just alone. And I would get frazzled, especially if the doors are opening, because you only have an hour and a half to set up before the doors open. Or one time I only had 1 hour to set up, and I was like, it's going to take me a lot longer to set up than 1 hour. So I really had to maximize my time and just be a lot more efficient on it. And that's what has kind of pushed me into this color coordination and just the baskets so that I can just pull and place and I don't have to think as much. It doesn't take as long to do. So my orange bag here, as you see, has lots of extra plushies that I will have underneath the table during my event. But obviously I didn't sell anything at this event. So hopefully when you do these events, the amount of plushies you leave with is going to be less than the plushies you come with. My goal is always to have one less bag. So I carry 4 bags plus my clear bin with me. And so at the end of each market, my goal is just to break down into one less bag. So I have one less bag to pack in my car and bring home. And if I can make that one less bag happen, it's been a good day. But here we go. My orange bag was all of those items here where I have my, you know, my gold rack, and I just place those in. So I know that these are my $10 to $20 item range, and I know that they're going to be in my orange bag for my gold rack. And then I still have room here because I also place my $10 bin of items I just want to phase out. Those go in here too. So I know what those $10 items are because they don't have tags on them, because my price is right here. So anything that doesn't have a tag in this bag goes in here. Then I'll also add more items into here, but for now that is just gonna go out of place because I'm moving on to my next bag, which is going to be my green bag. And if you remember, my green bag were my larger plushies that I typically place on my white rack that is non-existent for this market. So I'm taking those larger items and I'm placing them in this bag. Now see how quickly my teardown can be? It's so much quicker for the teardown usually than it is for the setup, just because it doesn't really have to be pretty, right? You don't have to have the perfect setup. You just want to have them organized, or I want to have them organized, I should say. So all of these larger items are going in. Can't forget the lovely dragon. A dino, all kinds of items. Now this bag obviously fills up a lot faster, and sometimes it's a lot harder to pack. So not always do I get all my larger items in here, depending on how I fill them, which is perfect because I still have that orange bag. So it's not full, but it's going to work. Then I go into my blue bag. For my blue bag, I don't want to call them my favorites, but I mean, if the shoe fits, wear it. So these are kind of more of my more preferred items, I guess you could say. And so I am placing all of those in here. My little snake, my sneaky little snake. And so I think that bag is pretty much full. So I am going to close this bag up as well. And as you can see, I haven't even touched my silver bag because that bag is just my extras. And I could honestly leave that bag. If my car was close by, I could just leave that bag in my car. I wouldn't even have to put it in underneath my table if I didn't want to, because those are just my extras. Those are my what ifs. What if I sell everything and I need more items, that my duplicates, that is in what is in that bag. So now I have that extra space in here that's just gonna be whatever I have left over. Basically, what's left on these racks is going to go into this bag. And my Pelican is the last thing that needs to go into a bag. And voila, my 3 bags are packed again. Oh, and I can't forget my tablecloths, because I like to keep them in with one of my items that I'm definitely going to bring. So I'm definitely going to bring my plushie bag. I'm not going to forget a plushie bag. So I'm not going to forget my tablecloths because they're already in there, and now I don't have to worry about forgetting about them. Now we go on to my clear bin. So, as you saw at the beginning, my clear bin is set up perfectly so that all of these guys can just kind of be placed right inside. I didn't touch any of this stuff because I didn't use any of it for my market. So I don't even have to worry about that. But if I were to use those items in my market on that day, obviously they would be the first things to go in. And I have them set up so that all I have to do when I do use them is I take them out and I place them down. And that's all I have to worry about. I don't have to worry about finagling any kind of display for them. But here we go. So my ducks, since I only have 3 ducks, I'm just going to place them on top of my octos, and I kept my tag in that bin. Same with this. I'm going to take the tags, put it in the bin so it stays in the bin, and then I'm going to consolidate these bins. So ice cream octo tag goes in the basket, but I'm going to take the ice cream octos out and place them in with the kitties, and then place the basket there. Isn't that just so easy and convenient? I think so. I personally think so. And then look, I didn't sell any leggy frogs. Oh no, that's okay. I'm just gonna place them in. They'll be ready for the next time. I didn't sell any of my bees. That's okay. Place them in. They're ready for the next time. Now for my possums, I find they're pretty chunky and they take up more space. So I just like to put them off into the sides. Yeah, it's going to cost me maybe 2 extra minutes of setup time, but that is done already. And then my crabs will go on this side. My otters and stingrays can just be placed inside. And voila. And the crazy thing is, even though I didn't sell one thing, I still have more room than I did when I first started this video. And the reason I think that is because I have become even more efficient just playing around with my setup today. And I have more items too, because this is more, I didn't have that basket before this day. I literally just added that basket. But look, I have so much more space in here because I play around with my setup and it makes me more efficient every time. So now I can, know what to do and make it better every single time. And let's see, I'm gonna add my yip yips in here. And to even break it down even quicker, I have this extra bin, and I'm just gonna put my keychains in this bin, and then that way it keeps it separate from the yip yips, and that's gonna even save me more time. So my keychains, my yip yips, look at that, that is amazing. And then I did have some bags that were in there that I did not put on my display. So all I do with those is I just kind of stick them gently, neatly into the little crevices It keeps my other items from jostling around too much, and it also just packs them up so I have them. And there we go. My bin is ready to go. It's easy to set up, and honestly, I could just bring this one bin to a market and be successful with it because of all of the items that fit into that one specific bin. So all I have to do is fold up my rack. So I just put those ones down, and then the large one goes around to the other side. And then it's nice and thin and flat and easy to transport. You do have to have some space for it, but it's easy to transport once it's folded up. And then I just have to consolidate all of these bins. So I take these boxes, mystery bag boxes can go right inside of there. So I have my mystery boxes inside of here where they will stay safe. They're not going to fall out. And I place those to the side. I love these baskets because they are like nesting baskets. So they just go right inside of each other. Bam, bam, and bam. And then I can stick these right inside the other crates. These go together. And voila, we are done. We have everything packed up, ready to go. All I have to do is fold up my tables and everything's gonna be easy and ready to go. How I pack the car, I'll show you guys on my market day, but I always do my big like flat items first, and then I place my plushie bags inside, and then my large heavy clear bin goes in one of the last things. The taller racks like this one, can't fold it. It's super awkward in my car, but it works. And then my folding rack, I put that right on top of everything else, and then we're good to go. So I hope that video was helpful for you to maybe maximize your organization skills and to be ready to set up. As you can see, all of my stuff has been consolidated into this small little space in my basement, and now I can be prepared to just drive my car to the door, pack it all in, go to the market, and be very successful with my setup, so I don't have to worry about leaving anything behind because I know it's all in here, and being able to just have a good stress-free event. I did forget to show you guys one thing. I do have a checkout stand. So if you watched my last market I had, you would have seen me going through this little checkout stand to make sure I had all of my essentials, my emergency kit, my bags, and all of that. I carry all of those in this bag here. And so I have all of my bags, and I can just hang them on the sides here so that when someone buys something, I can just pull a bag out easily and use that. And I also have some little bags, business cards, even more bags for all of those mini items. I have thank you cards that I place in each bag. It has my socials on there so they can look me up. It says, thank you for your business. My small business appreciates you. All of that nice little touch stuff. I have a little garbage can that I sit next to me. So if I have any paper or trash that's paper related, I don't put food in here. But if anything small, I can stick that right in my trash. I have my Tylenol, a lint roller, breath mints, and even Band-Aids in here. So this is, and price tags. So this is kind of like my emergency kit. And along with my emergency kit, look at that, I have a second lint roller, some tape, because you never know if you're going to need some tape, scissors, sanitizer, because you want to keep your hands clean. I also have wet wipes, but I think I might have used up the last of them, so I actually had to go to the store and get some more of those, like the Lysol wipes. I use those quite, oh, no, they're right here. I use those quite a bit. So just the like to-go Lysol wipes, I get them right at the dollar store, Dollar Tree. Glue, because you never know if you're going to need some glue. A Tide to Go, because hello, you're at a market, you're probably going to be eating food if you're there for any length of time, and you don't want to stain your shirt and then look kind of disheveled during your show. You want to look good, right? So Tide to Go. Of course, an extra crochet hook, extra crochet needles. Got lots of those. And there you go. That's my little emergency kit that I have with me all the time right at my checkout. And when I'm done for the day, all I have to do is stick it back in here and carry it home with me. And just restock my bags or whatever else I used when I was there. So that is it in a nutshell. So like I said before, I hope you got some kind of feedback from here that can help you in your next market. I'd love to hear what you guys do for your market, what kind of formation you use for your market. I usually use a U formation. It's just kind of what I think is the easiest, what I know, but I would love to try out some new formations like a Z or a T or something like that. Let me know what you guys use for your formations. Let me know if you guys have any suggestions for anything I did today, how to make it even better. I'm so new to this still. It's always going to be a process of learning what to do and how to make it better. If you guys have any display options that are on the lower cost, because I don't know about you, but I want to make money instead of just continue to purge money for this. And so I try to do as little expenses as I can for these displays, which can become a little tough at times when I see everyone else's beautiful displays and I just want to continue to make mine better. But I try to get things on sale as well. So with that is all I have for you guys today. Like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to have you on my channel. And go ahead and leave a green heart emoji for letting me know you got all the way through this video. And I will see you all next time. Bye.